All right, here's our second and last video for section 2.4, talking about set operations with multiple sets. In the previous examples, I've either given you a roster method of different sets and asked you a few questions, set operation questions, or I've given you a picture of a Venn diagram and asked you questions. What if I, though, ask you on this example to make me a Venn diagram? Could you take all of the different pieces in each set and place them correctly into a blank Venn diagram? Let's try it. So we have a set A, we have set B, we have set C, and then we have our universal set. Would you be able to place all of the correct elements in each little part of our Venn diagram? So I started with a rectangle, our universal set. I have our three subsets, A, B, and C. What it might be easiest to do you see how off to the side here? I wrote down the different intersections first. I wrote down where all three of them intersect, and I'm going to list all the elements there. Then I listed the intersection of A and B, and I'm going to list those elements. I'm going to list the elements in the intersection of B and C, and I'm going to list the elements in the intersection of A and C. I'm going to do that off to the side first, and maybe that will be more helpful in putting my elements in my picture. So what are the elements that are in the intersection of A and B and C? So using the roster method up above, what elements are in all three of the different subsets? Well, I got the letters E and H. I'm going to go do the same thing for the intersection of A and B, B and C, and A and C. Pause the video, write down those three answers, and let's see if we got the same answer before we continue. So the intersection of A and B was G, E, and H. The intersection of B and C was just E and H. And the intersection of A and C was A, E, and H. Hopefully you got the same thing I did. Now let's go ahead and start placing our letters, our elements, in our picture. I'm going to start on the inside, and I'm going to work my way out. So again, what letters are in the intersection of all three sets? Remember, that was E and H, right? So I'm going to put those right in the middle. From there, I'm going to work my way out. It is always easiest when you're drawing your own Venn diagram to start on the inside and work your way out. So now I'm looking at the intersection of A and B. And what letters do I have in the intersection of A and B? Well, I have G, E, and H. And the intersection of A and B is right here. But don't I already have E and H on my picture? So I already have E and H listed in the intersection of A and B. So then the only thing that I need, the only element that I need to put in there is G. But I need to make sure that G isn't in all three of the overlaps. It is just in the overlap, the intersection of A and B. So where do you think I'll post or put G? Yeah, right there. And so G, E, and H are still all in the intersection of A and B, but then I have to make sure that all three of them intersect with the E and the H elements. I'm going to do the same thing for the intersection of B and C. B and C's intersection is just E and H, and don't I already have E and H in my intersection, so I'm good there? Now let's look at A and C. For the intersection of A and C, I need the letters A, E, and H. And since I already have E and H, all I'm missing is A. So A would go in that little section. All right, let's finish it off because we're not done. Those were just the intersections of all the pieces. Now let's go ahead and put all of the other elements in each of our sets. So over here we have elements in set A. A, D, E, G, H, I, and J. And don't I already have A listed? Don't I already have E listed, H listed, and G listed? So what are the elements that are left over? Well, it looks like I have D, I, and J. So that's where they go, in that little section outside there. Do the same thing for B and C, and come back and see if we got the same picture. For B, I had B and L left over. For set C, I had the element C left over. But those aren't all the elements in my picture. Remember, we need to make sure that we list all of our elements in our universal set. So what letters are missing that aren't in our picture already? Yeah, don't we have F and K? And so now I have all the elements in its proper sections that match all the different intersections and unions, and I haven't missed or overlapped anybody. All right. The last couple problems that we're going to do are just practicing all the things that we've been doing. What they're asking us to do in these next few examples is just prove that these two ideas are equal. So prove, in this case, that this left side, when I get an answer, is the same answer as if I did the right side, showing you that you could do it either way and you would get the same answer. So I'd like you to do that. I would like you to do the left side over here. I would like you to do the right side over here, making sure that you show me step by step. And in the end, we should have the same answer. So that's what's kind of nice about these problems, is we know they should match in the end. And if they don't, we know we did something wrong. All right, pause the video, do the left side, do the right side, and then come back and see if we have the same answers. All right, for the left side, remember parentheses I'm going to do first. So what is the intersection of A and B? I got the region 2. Then I want to apply the outside piece, the complement. So what this is saying is what regions are not the region labeled number 2? Well, that would be region 1, 3, and 4. All right, let's see if we get the same answer on the other side. On this right side, I don't see parentheses, so I'm going to do each piece separately. I'm going to, at first, list all the elements that are not in A. What regions are not region A? Well, I've got that's the same answer. Okay, what's going on here, Deb? What regions are not in set A would be region 3. There we go, that's better. And the region 4. How's that look? All right, sorry about that. Okay, I'm going to do the complement of set B. What are all the regions that are not in set B? Let's see if I got this one right. 1 and 4? Phew, okay, perfect. And now I can put them all together and find the union of these two new sets. Remember, union means I'm going to bring all their stuff together. So I should end up with regions 1, regions 3, and regions 4. And does it match? Ah, perfect. So we know we did it right. All right, look at this last one. Gives you a Venn diagram with some more regions labeled, and they want you now, to practice. Look at these. I want you to practice. I want you to do the left side. I want you to do the right side, and hopefully they should match. So this is just more practice, making sure that you do it each step separately so you don't make any mistakes. I'd like you to pause the video again. I'd like you to try the left side. I'd like you to try the right side, and let's see if we can get the answers to match, because they should. They're supposed to be equal to each other. All right, over on the left side, I see parentheses, so I'm going to do inside the parentheses first. I have the intersection of B and C, which would be 5 and 6, and I used numbers instead of Roman numerals. I hope you're okay with that. I started getting confused with all the little V's and the little ones, so be careful. All right, I have all of the elements that are in set A. That was 1, 2, 4, and 5. Regions 1, 2, 4, and 5. And now I can put these two together and find their union. Remember, union means all of their stuff. I ended up with 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6. Now I'm going to go ahead and do it back into Roman numerals so I get a form what they're looking for. I have 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6. All right, hopefully my right side matches. On this one, I see 2 sets of parentheses, so I'm going to do each one. I'm going to do the union of A and B. Remember, all of A's stuff and all of B's stuff. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then I'm going to do the union of A and C. The union of A and C, all of A's stuff and all of C's stuff. That's 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now I can put them together and find their intersection. So what's in common in both of these sets? Well, I have the regions 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6, or in Roman numerals 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6, and it matches the other side. Yay, so we got it right. Being very careful that you're organized and you go step by step so you don't make any silly mistakes like I did. All right, so that was our set operations with multiple sets. Make sure that you practice, practice, practice. The more you practice, the easier it's going to be. Let me know if you need anything.